Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, ma'am. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for asking. How are you?
I'm doing great too. Thank you so much for asking too.
Okay, so how is your day shaping?
Our day has been going great.
It's going great. Okay, so it's our first session together, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so since it's our first session together, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Reshma, and I'm basically from Kerala. I have completed my bachelor's, master's, and B.Ed in English. I have around 3 to 4 years of experience in this field. So, yeah, I've been working as a spoken English trainer, communication trainer, and for a short period of time, I've worked as a school teacher also. So,
Okay.
that's about me in a nutshell. I would love to hear about you.
Okay, that's a very good introduction you have given. Thank you so much for that. And about me, my name is Mahima Shukla. I'm connecting from UP. And currently, I'm pursuing my master, which is MA in English Literature. Simultaneously, I'm working on my communication skills and I run a YouTube channel too. Just recently, I launched. And when it's come to my hobbies, so I love traveling and reading a book and interacting and talking with new people. So that's a bit about me.
Okay, okay. So, you do content videos, is it?
Sorry, ma'am?
You do content videos? You have a YouTube channel?
Right, right.
Okay, so what sort of content?
Just related to English conversation.
Okay, so you put conversations or just normal videos of yours?
Uh, Most of the time, ma'am, I post only conversation videos there. And when it's come to shorts, so I post vocabulary and that idiom. So that's all.
Okay, okay. So how is it going?
It's been only a month for me, so it's going good.
Okay,
I don't have much expectation because I'm learning. That's the main motive behind that to starting a YouTube channel.
okay, okay. So you just started a month ago.
Right, ma'am.
So what made you, motivated you to start all that?
Um, okay, I'll tell you the motives and the motivation. If I talk about, so the moment I made up my mind to quit my job, I have a 2 year of corporate experience also. So I quit that job because I was not enjoying. The fulfillment was not there actually in my
Mm-hmm.
case. So I was just doing my work and was logging off, and again the same routine I was following there. So that's the reason I thought like let's start because YouTube is something I wanted to do for a long time, but I didn't get the idea or niche. What should I do? So the moment I started interacting with others on a Ace Fluency application, so I got to know okay, this is something I'm enjoying to talking with people, and so from there I got this idea. And when it's come to do how I created, because it is something not easy to present your flaw in front of others,
Exactly.
and that took a lot of courage actually. But I thought
Mhm.
let's try it because earlier I had no exposure to face a camera. So
Okay.
camera is the main thing. I felt very nervous while talking to others. The, I
Mm-hmm.
remember my first conversation.
Okay. So you faced your fear, is it? Okay. Okay. So coming back, you are doing masters in English language and literature, is it?
Right, ma'am.
So you're doing it like online or you going to college?
Online, ma'am. Online.
Online. Okay, okay, okay. Fine. So why English? Why did you choose English?
It's like out of the blue something happened actually. Like it's not like I had made up my mind. No, I'm going to pursue my master in. The moment I started my YouTube channel first, and later I thought like in between and the meantime, if I pursue my master, so would be great for me. Like if in future I want to do job and something, so that degree is required. So that's why
Okay,
I
okay.
choose.
So your bachelor's was also in English?
No, no, Bachelor of Science. I mean.
Bachelor of Science. Oh, nice jump. Okay, great. So then why English Yari? What is your whole goal in English Yari?
Um, English, Yari, like of course I because when we talk with others like co-learners, so they don't point off your mistake, right? So in that mean we need a guidance, maybe end of the session who can give us constructive feedback and
Mm-hmm.
tell us like this is the area which you are doing great job and this is something here where you are lacking. So for the feedback, of course.
Okay, so you're basically here to improve what you already know. Okay,
Right.
so in which part are you planning to improve, or where do you want to focus more on?
Right now, I can say whole thing. Like when it's come to the conversation part, there's a many area, ma'am, like where we need improvement. So, which is something I'm looking nowadays.
Okay, great. So because I feel your language is pretty good, and you're doing a good job when it comes to the language. So that's why I had a question in my mind. Why did she choose English, Yari?
Seriously,
What
ma'am,
is the
thank you.
purpose? Yes. Yeah. Okay. So, coming to the sessions, what do you expect from the sessions? Just conversations, or is there anything in particular that you're looking for?
We can go with like conversation, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. Is there something that you want to talk about, or you want to know about anything of that sort?
Okay, let's discuss, ma'am, one thing actually.
Yeah.
Like how people like take it, there's a many English learner who's maybe learning this language speaking for a many years, and
Yes.
when it come to know where they are standing, so they don't know themselves.
Hmm.
Like take example of like my level. I don't know what's my level. Is a A1 or B1 or C1? I'm not sure about that, right?
Okay.
So how
Okay.
people can guess this thing? Okay, this is my level. If someone asks.
Hmm. Okay. So basically, even I've heard a lot of people using A1, B2, B1, and all that. I don't go with that.
Okay.
Okay. I have a different point of view when it comes to that. For me, learners are just of three levels. Okay. One is a beginner. Okay. Who know the words, or who is able to construct sentences, but not proper sentences. It's broken sentences. So for that person, you'll have to start from the basic. Tell him or her how to construct a sentence, what are the things needed to form a sentence. So like basic grammar, you need to start from basic grammar. But for some people who's a beginner and who is like going to office and doing also, they're pretty grown up people. For them, we can't just completely give them grammar lessons. It's gonna be boring too much. So try to make them speak sentence by sentence, because they know words. They know it in their mother tongue. It's just that they need to convert it properly. So that would be a beginner for me. The second one is a moderate level learner, okay, or a moderate level speaker who knows the language, who's able to communicate, but has minor confusions, has minor mistakes when he or she speaks. Like, say, for example, goes confused, especially in past tense. And it's not that they don't know about it, they get confused or they don't know where exactly to use it properly. Right? So that's like a moderate level learner who wants to improve a lot on their fluency. They focus more on fluency there. Then comes an advanced learner who wants to polish their language. They know the language, they can use it properly, but they keep repeating or using commonly used words. They don't use advanced, they focus more on vocabulary and pronunciation. So these are the three levels of learners or speakers, according to me. That's how I categorize it. Right?
Right way, ma'am.
Yeah,
And also, if
exactly.
you don't understand what people say, B1, C1, you have to go through this thing to reach B1 to C1. So sometimes it's
Yes,
quite confusing.
you get confused. So it's a big confusion for most of the learners, especially beginners. They don't know the language properly. So if you go and tell them you're in A1 level or B2 level, they wouldn't understand anything. But just tell them that there are three categories, and this is where I categorize you, and these are the places where you need to improve properly. So that in that way they'll also understand what to do and how to do, where should they improve, and they can go step by step. That's what I believe. So that's why I always stick on to three levels, that is beginner, moderate, and advanced. Does that answer your question?
That's the right approach, I would have to say. And another question is, ma'am, when often people, as you are a teacher and professional in this language, people ask you, like, ma'am, what should I do to improve my communication skill faster, right? This is a often asked question where,
Very much.
right,
How much time do I need to learn this language? What is the time limit? Right. So especially when a beginner asks me such kind of question, I get stuck for a moment. How can I tell him, or how can I tell her that they would take some time to learn the language? So to make them feel a little bit motivated, I would motivate them in that way. You see, you know the language. you know the words in English. So that means you know something about the language. So if you're talking about the time, even if it's an advanced learner, I tell this. There is no time limit, or there is no time bound for such languages, because every day you're learning something. If you check for the words also, every day new words are coming up. You can't keep seeing the same thing again and again. Like every day you're learning something. So this is what I tell them. Get to know your level at which you're standing, and then accordingly progress. See, first session, if you come, if you're a beginner, I would tell him to answer my questions. Just basic question. What is your name? Where are you from? It's like an introduction which they can form. So first I'll ask you questions, answer those questions to me, and then try to form a paragraph with that. Likewise, it should reach a point where you will be able to talk about a topic alone without me asking questions. That's the level where a beginner has to reach. Yeah. So I would not, I usually don't tell a limit for anybody. But if it's a moderate level learner, I can tell them a little bit. Maybe 3 to 4 months, if you practice, you can be a very good fluent speaker. Whereas in an advanced level, I would tell them, try to go on, keep speaking, keep practicing. But still, it's not that I'm telling you because there is a limit. It's just telling you so that you understand that at least for this much time, you should be consistent, and
Right.
then later on go on with the language. That's what I usually do with it. Right. Yes.
Right.
So what do you feel? How can you tell a person the limit to learn a language?
Of course, like it's completely difficult, I would say, because telling someone this is this time you are going to take order to get intermediate or maybe the advanced, it's not like because take example, like maybe I'm the person who grabs things very easily or very quickly, right? Maybe other
Yes.
person would be take little bit time compared to
Yes.
me, right, to understand the
Yes.
things and concept. So it's vary of
Exactly.
the person to person also how they are grasping the things,
Hmm.
and some are slow learner, right? They for them I guess it's take a 1 year of time, and again if we say directly it's gonna take 1 year time, they lose their motivation there.
Exactly. They lose your confidence very fast.
Right, ma'am. So
Yeah.
but again I guess it's a very very like long process. We have to be patient because the moment I started my journey I also couldn't utter a proper sentence in this language. I remember those days when I was struggling. So but yeah, still I have walked so far, like I'm half of way of my journey, I can say. So I can't
Yes.
take a back step.
Exactly, exactly. Because they always say, no, it's not about the destination. It's about the journey, the
Journey.
travel that you go through, right? That's the thing that you always remember the most, how you reached this much. So yeah, everybody has individual differences. Like you said, some might be a slow learner, some might be a fast learner, but still, consistency and practice is something that everybody has to take care as for learning anything. It needn't be just English, but for learning anything, be it business, be it anything that you want to achieve in life, I think always something that anybody needs is consistency and practice. That's what makes you reach you somewhere, right? Yes. So, what is your journey, Mahima, if you don't mind asking me? How did you end up here?
After 2 years of struggle I end up here.
Okay. Everybody has a struggling phase, right?
Right, but of course, like during like the 2 year which I mentioned here, so I was never consistent with my practice. That I say all the time, which is something I feel very bad about it whenever I
Mm,
remember. Because if I could have maybe persistent with my practice earlier, so definitely I would not see that much difficulties now. So, but again, like I realize now, consistency is the only key. I have to do practice every single day in order to improve my
very
communication.
much. Very much, very much. I truly agree to that consistency, because that's a word that I came across maybe 3 to 4 years back. And when I realized it, I thought, okay, that's the only way I can reach somewhere. So I think for everybody, consistency is a very important word which can lead us to somewhere. Right. Okay. So how was your feeling when you have finally reached your goal or when you were halfway through it?
Sometimes I feel happy, ma'am, whenever
Mm.
any person say to me, and I also can, see that conspicuous change in my the way of speaking if I compare my old videos and to like the recent one if I watch. So of course I can see changes. That's clear. But again, in between, I feel also demotivated. Am I improving or not? What am I doing? Why it's taking so much time? And especially when you meet with eloquent speaker who's already very good in this
Yes.
language at this
Yes.
language, so
Exactly.
that's a very, I guess, common problem where all learner face. They think,
Yes.
oh, she and he is speaking. Sometimes when I use a platform like I use Fluency, sometimes I still use to talk and for a practice purpose. So people ask how much time it took you to get this level, and what kind
Mm.
of activity you did and you were still doing. So I said like maybe it's not like if I say like you have to listen a lot. Like listen is something helped me a lot in my case, but it's not like it's going to help you, right? If I say to listen, maybe you don't find interesting to listen podcast, listen conversation video, right? So it's very like where you are interested. If you are interested in reading, just go and read something. If you are interested in listening, so don't like listen only because I am saying. Just find your niche very interesting. Maybe you are
Exactly.
interesting to listen a cooking blog. Just go and watch something at least in English, which is more
Mm.
important.
Exactly. But coming on to all that, if there are four skills in English: listening, reading, writing, speaking. So if you want to achieve speaking, you need all of that. Right. So, like, for example, listening and reading also. But with only those, you can't achieve speaking because you need to put it into practicality. Only then the effect of all these will come to it. So, I tell all my learners that just by, so every day one learner will come and tell me, okay, ma'am, I read for 20 minutes one book. I'm like, how can you stop a book? 20 minutes reading, that's not the point. Are you getting something from it? That's the whole point. What did you understand from it? Can you just give me a brief summary about the page that you read? No, they are not able to do that. Just for the sake that tutors are giving them tips to read, to listen, they're just doing that. I'm like, don't go in that way. Do something that is interesting for you, which makes you fascinating onto something. That's the only way where you can achieve onto something. Everybody will tell you, listen to podcast, read this thing, read that thing. But the whole point is for you to make things easier. If that is not happening, then that's not working for you. Everything is a trial and error method, right? You have to keep trying which is suitable for you.
Right.
Right. Yes. Okay. So what are you planning to achieve in your life from all this? Do you would have a goal in your life. Sometimes you would didn't want to tell that also, so it's totally fine.
No,
But
it's
then,
not like that. Of course, it's like something I can share with anyone, no issue. So,
okay.
first thing nowadays, as I'm focusing on a YouTube, so that would be if I get something good from there, so I would be very grateful. And second, like offline institute, which
Okay.
yeah, I have been training for a long time. So, if it's possible, then I want to open that also. So, this is two things for now.
Okay. Okay. So offline in the sense you're planning to go on with spoken English itself or something else?
Yeah, I'm spoken English.
Spoken English. Okay. So you would have a rough idea about all that, right?
Right, little bit.
Great, great. So your motivation to join English Yari is to get the glitch of it, is it?
Yeah, of course, that's also because when I started watching a conversation video, I found was very fascinating actually back then. So I thought like let's subscribe it and get something, and I'm very glad actually I subscribed English Ari.
Okay, so you've been in English Yari for how long?
In last May, I subscribed. Yeah, in
Okay.
last May,
So for
almost
over a
one
year.
and. Huh?
Over a year.
No, 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 not over a year. It's been only 1.5 months.
Oh, this May,
Yeah, this.
not last May. Okay, I thought it was last May. So
No,
this
this.
May.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, great. So how is it treating you? You're happy with English Yari? You're glad with English Yari? How is it going?
It's going good actually. I'm of course quite happy, and like today itself, I'm happy a lot because what happened? The one of my subscriber actually, he he or she are not sure like who commented on my channel says like, please book session with Reshma ma'am. So
Oh,
actually I got confused, like there's a two Reshma ma'am on English Shari, right? So I
okay.
some like in that case I booked with the different Reshma ma'am earlier. So but
Okay.
later I got to know, no, that was the not the Reshma which the person was talking about, because he says
Okay.
like she has a very warm personality, which is something I got it from you actually.
Okay, okay. So you found my video somewhere, is it? Somebody had
Right.
posted some video, is it?
Somewhere many YouTubers.
Are posting my video? Oh, that's a first news for me. Okay, I've never seen my video.
Oh my
So
god. You should
learners are
watch
posting.
that. Yeah.
No, no. Which video did you, with whom?
I forget the channel name actually, but there's a person who's from South, one person,
Okay.
and another is also I forget. There's a one girl. I'm not sure her channel and her name also I forget, because many YouTubers are there nowadays who's posting their conversation videos.
Oh my God. I didn't know that. So what video did you see of mine?
Um,
What was the topic?
Topic was like I'm not sure the exactly the topic, but you were like sharing there's some idea about this language, or the practical way to improve, or so yeah, this is something I like a lot.
Oh, okay. Okay. So I'll try to see if my video is there. Oh my God, it'll be very embarrassing if I see my video
Oh
there.
my god, why? Like it's a good now. People can like seriously. There's a personality where like take example. There's tutor. Of course, you are a tutor, and many tutors are there. But again, the issue to whom co-learner is like feeling connected, right? And they're feeling
Yes.
comfortable, and which is something actually that vibes you have.
Okay. Thank you so much. Maybe it's because of a lot of experience that I've had throughout, because I started my journey or I started my work when I was just 22. I started off working as a spoken English trainer only. I just started off with a startup company back in Kerala itself. It was a spoken English firm. I think I had mentioned it in with one of the learners, because he comes to my session only to listen to what I have gone through or how I have improved. Maybe his video might be the one which you have seen. I don't know. There's one learner called Naveen, if I'm not wrong.
Okay, correct. Yeah,
Yes,
he's
it
the
was
one.
his. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I've had only 3 sessions with him. From the beginning itself, he just wants me to talk rather than him talking. Because I said I think I've told him once also, you might get me fired, because for us it is always the learner is supposed to speak more, because when I start talking about my journey, it just goes off like that, because I have a lot of experience, so I can share it with a lot of people, and everybody loves doing that, sharing what you've been through. But I always tell my learners, do not go with that, because everybody has a different life, and it is not something that you would go through or I would go through. It's different for both of us, so you would not be able to relate to it, but take out points from that and see if it works for you. Like I said, individual differences are there. I think I talked about motivational books and self help books in one of his sessions, where I said, I don't always go with that, because it's about somebody's story. The only thing you can do is take pointers from it. You can't think that, okay, I'll be that person one day. That's never going to happen, because that person is different. Their circumstances are different from yours. So it's very hard to relate to something like that. So for me, it was a journey that I started by loving the language. I respect my mother tongue at the same time, but English is a language which I am very passionate about, because I love it a lot. I don't know how I'll express that also, because the journey that I started, as I said, I just started off as a language trainer in a startup company, and then from that, within 5 months, I got promoted to a head of that particular department, which I tell everybody is my most prized moment ever, because I started off at 22, and then all of a sudden I got you know I got promoted. I started doing content videos. So it was a life changing moment for me at that time. That's how I started up. That's how I realized I have something in me. So it just takes little time for you to, like you said, constructive feedback was not something that I got throughout my life. I used to get destructive feedbacks. So that has a very big difference from, so for some people destructive feedback works, where the whole motive of criticism is to break that person down, pull him down, hurt that person. That's the main motive of destructive feedback. That has worked for me.
I also
But
have
I
that
don't do
experience.
that. Yeah, some people it works, right?
Yeah,
But with
it works actually. I'm not sure whether it works or not, but at the same time, you feel very disheartened and you just lose your all confidence, all motivation that moment when someone says,
totally.
"Oh my God!" Like it's been only like okay, it's like for 20 last 25 minutes we are talking to each other, right? But in the last 25 minutes, if you stop me every single sentence after that and say like, "Mama, you made a mistake here," so of course, end of the session, I'm going to think like, "Oh my God, I was like very terrible in that session. How bad I performed," right? So this kind of question is very obvious to come in your mind.
Yes.
So
And that comes to every learner's mind when you keep correcting them. But as a tutor, I can't stop myself from not correcting them also, because I'm not being true to my profession. So that's something that I always keep, because I go with constructive feedback because I know how destructive feedback works. But as I said, for some people it works. For me, what happened was that I took it as a challenge and I proved them wrong. I was not a good student, or I was not good in my studies in my school days. The only thing that held me, or which I withstand for a long time, was because of English. That was the only strength that I had throughout my school days. So I can proudly, or not proudly say, but I was terrible in my studies. Terrible to a point where maths was my most, biggest enemy ever. I was that bad in maths.
yeah, it is.
But English was something that held me, and that's where I started having a love towards the language. So everybody has that one moment where you realize, okay, this is my strength. I shall go on with it.
So
So
when
that's
you
it.
are in ma'am, like during your school days, you started to love this language, right?
Yes.
In my
Yes. I
case,
think
I'm
around fifth
pretty sure.
standard, if I'm not wrong. Fifth standard.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So I used to read a lot of books.
In my case, after graduation, after graduation, it happened because till class 10th, I studied only English as a subject. But after 10th, uh, I had chosen computer over English because that was a choice. And graduation also I did in Hindi, so there was no exposure at all. So after
Yes.
graduation, I